Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies, how the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Aspira Women's Health is focusing on women's reproductive health. It has a data-driven approach that delivers solutions that help women take control of their gynecological health and empowers providers as well. And so with me is the CEO, Nicole Sandford, and also Phan, the COO and Chief Scientific Officer. So great to meet you. Great to have you back, Nicole.
Thank you.
So let's just start. Tell me again about Aspira Women's Health and what you're doing.
So our company is focused on developing advanced diagnostic tools for gynecologic diseases using technology, and we've been focused on gynecologic disease since our inception. So we have more than 2 decades of experience in developing blood-based tests for risk assessment. We started focused on ovarian cancer, which we talked about last time, which affects many women, has been underinvested in for a long time, and is a highly deadly disease as a result of a lack of effective earlier stage diagnostic tools. And we're building out our pipeline to focus on other gynecologic diseases based on the success of that commercial product.
Yeah, and you were talking about the ovarian cancer, like how it's not detected till very late.
Yes, more than 60% of women are diagnosed in stage 3 or stage 4. And the chances of surviving ovarian cancer at that late stage are 30% or less, depending on the type and the stage that it's identified.
It's a real unmet need.
Absolutely.
Clearly. So, Ryan, this is your first time joining us. Tell me about what brought you to Aspira Women's Health.
And at the time of my discussion with Aspira, the company was in talk with the Harvard Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, my former training place. So, in addition to those technology, the company, unlike most of the diagnostic company of this scale, that have a unique qualified clinical staff with a clear certified CAP accredited clinical laboratory setting, very experienced clinical operation team, and with a commercial sales force that most of the company not existing.
Now, we talked, Nicole, last time you were here about ovarian cancer, clearly, but you're also working on solutions for endometriosis.
That's right.
Explain that. Why is that another area of unmet needs for women's health?
Sure. Well, endometriosis is a devastating disease. It affects 6 million or more women in the United States alone. It takes a very long time to diagnose, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But in the meantime, women suffer with debilitating pain that often interferes with their ability to work, go to school, live their lives. There was a recent study that was published about the impact of endometriosis that said that most women that have endometriosis have missed work during their cycle, or have decided to either leave work or school or otherwise check out of their life as a result of the pain. So finding out what you're dealing with for these women is critical. And there is not a currently available diagnostic tool. Women who want to be definitively diagnosed have to undergo an invasive laparoscopy.
What does this mean for Aspira?
Well, it's obviously a significant unmet medical need, which for us, frankly, a lot of the diseases that impact women in the Southern Hemisphere are unmet needs. So we have a lot of work to do, and endometriosis is a really important part of expanding our pipeline. So the opportunity for us is significant. When you think about the number of women who currently may have endometriosis, that's an immediate need for a diagnostic tool to help them understand if the source of their pain is endometriosis. So it's a big opportunity for us.
Mm-hmm. And just talk to me about the future for Aspira Women's Health. What else are you looking forward to? What are some of the goals you have?
Yeah, so we have another test that we're launching later this year. Well, it's actually a new application for our existing OvaWatch, which is a tool that is used for ovarian cancer initial clinical assessment. So we are hoping to publish new data shortly that will support the use of that test as a serial monitoring tool, which is very significant for women who are diagnosed with adnexal masses.
Okay, Nicole and Ryan, thank you so much for coming back and explaining this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
ProStar is a world leader in precision mapping, and these is used specifically with businesses associated with construction and management of infrastructure. And with me is the CEO, Paige Tucker, to explain the company. And I remember we talked once on Zoom, and we talked about just what you do is kind of unseen, but so important. So give me an overview of ProStar.
So as you mentioned, we consider ourselves the world leader in the development of precision mapping solutions. And we have designed a solution that works on a standard mobile app that provides centimeter accuracy. And specifically, the solution is designed to capture, record, and display the precise location of buried infrastructure, including utilities and pipelines.
Okay, and so why is that important? Why do I need to know where these utility lines are?
Well, unfortunately, in the United States, we don't really have any good information that's accurate on where the utilities and pipelines are buried. And anytime you do construction, including on the above ground infrastructure, which could be our roads or our bridges or highways, or if we're trying to repair or replace water systems, sewage systems, or even putting fiber optic into the ground, if we don't know where the utilities and pipelines are buried, there's a high probability that we could hit a utility or pipeline during construction. And when you hit a utility or pipeline, some really bad things can happen. You could have dangerous petroleum products that are seeping into our water systems. You could have, for example, if you hit a high pressure gas line, high probability that you're going to have an explosion. And when you do, serious injuries incurred either by the worker or the public, or you could have loss of life. And that's actually a major problem, is that the amount of deaths that we have every year is to the point where it's simply unacceptable.
Oh, interesting. How do you map? What kind of technology are you using?
So basically what we're doing is we're using existing equipment that can identify where a utility or a pipeline is located, but traditionally they don't capture any information. So we're taking the equipment and we're integrating it with GPS systems that give us the precise geospatial location. And when you combine our technology with the GPS, with the standard mobile device, with the equipment that can actually locate where the utilities and pipelines are located, we have the ability to digitally capture the precise location onto the mobile device. We send that information up to the cloud where we do all of our calculations through our proprietary algorithms, and we make that information available to whoever needs it in a matter of seconds.
Interesting. So talk to me about sales a little bit. I'm guessing utilities would be a customer, governments maybe. Like, who are your main customers?
Yeah, it's pretty broad. It's basically anyone that's impacted by not knowing where utilities and pipelines are buried. So major construction companies, engineering and surveying firms, municipalities, mining companies, Department of Transportation, pretty much anyone that is impacted, again, by not knowing where these utilities and pipelines are buried.
Now, this infrastructure bill was passed, I guess, last year maybe. Will that benefit the company?
Absolutely. So yeah, a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill was passed, of which several hundreds of billions is earmarked for what I consider to be critical infrastructure. So your roads, bridges, highways, also to repair and expand our water systems and our sewage systems, as well as the fiber optic. So that will definitely impact our company, because again, with all of that construction, there's going to be a high probability that we're going to have a lot of utility and pipeline strikes or damages if we don't know the precise location.
Yeah. Now, Patrick Clausen, so he's leading your sales initiative. Talking about him, what does he bring to the company?
Yeah, we just brought Mr. Clausen in, and he has basically already had a huge impact on our sales and marketing operations. He also we placed him on the board as well. But his background is coming in with early stage technology companies and really optimizing their sales and marketing and significantly increasing their revenue, and he's already starting to do that for us.
Okay. So what does it look like for the company next 12 to 24 months? I'm sure Patrick plays an important role in that.
Absolutely. It took several years to get to the point where we had what we call early adopters to actually adopt our technology and test it and validate that we could actually locate where these utilities and pipelines are just on a standard mobile device. But we're at the point now where we have Fortune 500 construction companies, government agencies, some of the largest engineering surveying firms that are using our technology, and that gives us the credibility to be able to go out and market much more broadly.
Yeah.
So we're significantly increasing the amount of customers that we have now, not only in the United States, but also around the world.
Yeah, it's kind of a proof of concept. It shows what
That's
you've got really
exactly right.
works. So now you're based in Colorado, but you're in New York today. So what brings you to New York City?
Actually, in New York, we're doing a demonstration for the city of New York.
Oh.
They asked us to come out and provide to them our solution and demonstrate actually how it works. So we're working with one of the large engineering surveying firms that's a client of ours, and they're going to shut down a section, I believe it's in Queens, and we're going to demonstrate exactly how our solution works for the city of New
Maybe
York.
you can do something about whenever it rains, there's water at every curb. So anyway, okay, so the digitization of infrastructure and what you do, how will that look in the future?
Well, what might surprise people right now is that the majority of utilities and pipelines aren't mapped to any level of, I would say, precision based on the fact they're not digital. The majority of utilities and pipelines, if they're mapped at all, are still on paper systems. So anytime you can provide any type of digital information, as a result of that, you can optimize the ability to perform, be more efficient, and obviously make better business decisions. So that is our goal, is to be the leader and lead the construction industry and critical infrastructure into what I call the digital era.
Well, yeah, interesting, an industry that hasn't really been digitized yet, so
Exactly.
a lot of room there. Paige, thank you so much. Great to meet you.
Absolute pleasure, thank you.
SMX technology is using blockchain to track and trace items in a variety of industry. And with me is Alon, the CEO of SMX Technology. We're going to talk about gold today.
Good morning.
Which is always fun. Good to see you
Yes.
back. So you've got this True Gold consortium. Tell me what that is and what is the benefit to the gold industry.
So True Gold is an operation of us and some key strategic players in the gold industry, the Perth Mint, Ava Global, and other people. It is chaired by Hugh Morgan, which is one of the founding fathers of the mining industry and gold industry in the world. We have also with us Mr. Engwin, who was chairman of the LBMA. True Gold is about providing a boutique end-to-end service to all the ecosystem players, all value chain players of gold industry. And as such is an innovative commercial operation that service mines, the mining companies, the gold refiners, and the gold product and product manufacturers.
The jewelry. So, and I know there are
Yes.
some challenges, right, to luxury watches and luxury jewelry. What are those challenges and how does True Gold address those?
So the challenges are how in a world of e-commerce and digital trading and huge second-hand market and the all challenges of counterfeit and brand efficacy, how do you provide with one technology a solution to all of these challenges? And this is exactly our new patent, and this is exactly what we have managed to prove. How we can provide, by giving the gold memory at mine site, at refining, at end product, by giving the gold memory, we create maybe the most important thing in gold industry, which is trust. We create trust between the brand and the client. We create the opportunity to buy and sell watch, jewelry made out of gold with the highest level of certification and with the highest level of provenance, where the gold came from, was it ethically sourced, is it recycled gold? All of these issues are solved by giving gold memory in production and also on finished good product.
So, I mean, it authenticates whether it's, what it says it is, 18 karat, and where it came from, and all of that. So this technology will allow that to happen, for the customer to trust that information.
Exactly. We create the new gold standard. We create a new level of certification that gold producers, gold brands, and the clients can all join one platform that unites the physical manufacturing of the gold and the digital evidence and certification of the gold to such secure, safe ecosystem that second-hand selling and buying, authentication, ESG components, authentication of whether this gold was originated from recycled or virgin gold. All of these key issues are solved and answered with one technology.
Yeah. So what's next for True Gold, and will there be any other True Silver or anything like that you might have in the future?
Well, you put the secret out.
Oh.
They will be True Silver,
Okay.
and they will be True Planet. So we will have to have other sessions, I hope. And yes, the future for True Gold is really creating this industry standard, this platform that unites the physical and the digital world on one login. You know the history, you know the ownership, you know the quality, you know the ESG component, and all relevant participants can be on board.
H, thank you so much for coming in. Always great to get updates on SMX.
Thank you very much. And as we say, don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. OriginClear is doing some innovative things with water and trying to position the company and society for the future of water. And with me is the CEO, Riggs Eckelberry, to talk about what's going on. And Riggs, it was so interesting to see how hot water tech is. There's a new unicorn, basically a $1 billion valuation of a private company that is in this space. So tell me about that and just the whole industry in general, where it's at right now.
Well, first of all, I'm so sorry that I'm not with you physically because, A, I love being with you, but also the amazing food in New York and hanging out with Vince and the team. But at least we'll get the news across. You're right that water tech is heating up. A huge, in fact, Gradient, which was incubated at MIT, became a unicorn this week. It was the biggest deal on Crunchbase. And what's interesting is that they're not doing what they've chosen is to really focus on water-heavy industries, pharmaceutical, chip companies, food and beverage. When you make beer, it takes 7 or 8 liters of water to make 1 liter of beer, for example, right? So they've really chosen to focus in on that. But in fact, so are we. We have business in the same space. And I think everybody's realizing that they got to start treating the water so as to reuse it and reduce water usage overall. We've heard about these terrible droughts and so forth. Kansas right now, in fact, is going through such a drought that they're literally liquidating entire wheat fields with Roundup because they don't think they can get the wheat. So we've got to do something about the water. And that's why Gradient became a unicorn this last week. What's also special is that we created something called Water on Demand, which is the only way that regular people can invest in this exciting new space. Because you and me, we can't invest in Gradient. You and me, we can't invest in 7Cs. That's Morgan Stanley Infrastructure Partners. We can't invest in Cambrian, which is also VC. But you and I can invest in Water on Demand, kind of like the same way people invest in an oil well. So all people have to do is go to waterondemand.net, click on Invest Now, and then they'll be talking to somebody you know very, very well, which is Ken Berenger, the co-creator of Water on Demand.
Yeah. And let's talk about water tech and how you have acquired a tech system. So explain that acquisition and how that is strategically important to the company.
Well, it's an initial letter of intent, so it's non-binding. But what we've done is we've identified the fact that when you build something that's like imagine your municipal utility that deliver water and they take your dirty water and they bill you. And if you don't pay, then they cut you off and they have to meet certain standards. Well, imagine that all that scaled down to a business like a brewery, right? Well, you need to have the same functionality. We call it an operating system. And many people call it an operating system. That's perfectly good descriptor, but it needs to happen for the private businesses that have the same problem. Now, so we signed an initial letter of intent with a fine developer that has their own Fortune 500 customers. They've been around for almost 20 years. They're a great company, and we intend to let that business continue because it's not a bad business, and then use their expertise to build this operating system. Last week, actually, by the time this comes out, it'll be the week before last, we published an updated presentation in which we made forecasts for Water on Demand, including modular water systems. And I covered it in my last CEO briefing. I strongly encourage interested people to join my weekly CEO briefing. We're now up to 212. And basically, we've done it since Zoom started. And all the people have to do is go to oc.gold/CEO. So oc.gold/CEO, or just go to OriginClear.com and we'll invite you there. Join me. We love to tell you the latest that's happening.
Yeah. Well, that's a great idea for people that are thinking about investing in water and don't know the space and want to learn more about the company and make sure it's what they want to do. They can go and get it straight from you. What's going on? So.
Well, not only that, they can get it from New to the Street from Jane King.
That's right. So, yes. Well, I just, provide the platform for you to tell your story. Always so interesting, Riggs, to hear about what OriginClear is doing. Thank you for joining us.
It's my great pleasure, Jane. I'll see you next month. Okay.
See you then. Bye.
Thank you.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Welcome, everybody, to your Secure Privacy and Security segment. I'm Anna Berry, along with Alon, the CEO of Secure. So our weekly hack topic is one that hit home close to me in Oklahoma. The Oklahoma Institute of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology shut down recently after what they claimed was a cybersecurity attack. So basically what happened is someone at that facility installed an iPhone app, and afterwards all of these issues arose with the clinic's emails, electronic records, and office phones. So, Elaine, our question for you today is give us some guidance on how we can avoid this happening to us in the future, and talk a little bit about the secure solution.
Sure, happy to do so. I remember our talks during COVID where there was a lot of hacking happening in medical record, because that's valuable information. Domestic or non-domestic hackers get into it. And the allergy one is actually quite dangerous, because you can get the population's allergy data and then target a particular population based on different allergies through the Food Network distribution, through other things. So it's a very serious hack. First of all, I would recommend that you check the application that you're downloading, check with your authority, or I guess in this case it was a medical system. I would recommend that you double check if it's okay to download that. Hacks happen all the time, unfortunately, and the best way to do it is to try to render yourself as invisible as you can from hackers through the various tools, including VPNs, for example.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because I know you recently launched your VPN. So tell us the importance of having it and how easy it is for our viewers to download it today.
Yeah, so our VPN offers a no data mining, no traffic pulling VPN based out of Switzerland, hosted in our own infrastructure without third-party cloud hosting. That gives you that extra security and definitely the privacy. You can simply go to secure.com, you'll see the VPN, you purchase it, then you go to your iOS or Android phone, download the app. There's also a web version, you can go on the web. We just launched a Mac version, Windows is coming soon. And you click and you go, and that's it. And all the IPs are in Switzerland, so you don't need to worry about moving around different IPs in different countries. And it's encrypted at 256 AES or higher, and our own encryption levels on top of it. So it's as secure as you can get, and definitely private. And it will dramatically reduce instances of hack, because we never ask for your phone number. So when you have a VPN on your device, nobody knows that it's really you. You're not targeted as much, obviously.
Wonderful. And I know that you have a special promo code for our viewers today. What would that be?
Yes, promo code privacy, which gives you 15% off any of our solutions for the next 5 years. That's a great discount. And if you buy a solution yearly, you get 17% on top of the 15. So pretty much a third off for the next 5 years. I highly recommend that option to buy yearly if you can.
Perfect. Well, it's all the question, how much is our privacy worth to us? And this is a great solution, because privacy has arrived with Secure. Always great speaking with you, Alain. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thanks, Anna, and be safe, everyone on the internet. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everyone.